Why your blood types matters more than you think. Did you know that your blood group can decide whether a blood transfusion saves your life or puts it at risk? In our last video, we explored the basic of blood, its components, and what happens to old red blood cells. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure to check it out first because it will help you understand today's topic even better. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of blood groups and discover why they matter so much. So, what are blood groups? Do you know? So, blood groups are based on something called antigens. Now, the main question and the first question is what is antigen? Before understanding the antigen, let's see what it is. So, this is a blood drop. Okay, inside the blood we have lots and lots of RBC cells. Let's take one RBC cells out. As you can see here, this is red blood cell, and this red blood cell, on the surface of this red blood cell we have some triangular shape structure. And what are these things? These are what? These are antigens. Okay, these are what? These are antigens. Now, again, what is an antigen? I want to know what is an antigen. So, antigen is very simple and special. Okay, there's nothing in this antigen. What it is? An antigen is a special name tag or ID card present on the surface of red blood cell. Clear? Let's take an example. Imagine you are entering your school or college. To prove you belong there, you wear an ID card, right? Similarly, every red blood cell has antigen on its surface that tell the body, yes, I belong here, do not attack me. And they are telling to whom? They are telling to your immune system, the defense system of our body. This will check this ID card. The immune system will check the ID card. What is the ID card? This antigens. Okay. If it sees a different or unfamiliar card, it will attack it. That's why blue blood group are important in transfusion. Let's understand this diagram first. Each person represent a blood group. Okay. What they are representing? They are representing the blood group. So let's start with this person. As you can see the red circle on their chest, what are they? They are representing a red blood cell. And the small shapes on the RBCs represent the antigens. Okay, let's start with this person. As you can see here, this RBC has pentagonal shape, right, on its surface, on the surface of the RBC. What does that mean? This shape represent a antigen. What antigen? This person has blood group A, meaning their RBC only carry antigen A. Understood? I'm just making this shape to make you understand. These are not the real shapes of the antigens. I'm just trying to make you understand. That's why I make this kind of shapes. So if your body has antigen A, that means your body has blood group A. Clear? If the body contains B antigen, then the person has B blood group. Let's see here. As you can see here, the person carries triangular shape on the surface of the RBC, which means, and this triangle represents the B antigen. If the person has B antigen, the person has B blood group. Likewise, if the person represent this triangular and rectangular shape, if the person represent this kind of shape, it means they have both A and B antigen, meaning the RBC has both shapes, triangular and rectangle, and it represent the RBC has both A and B antigen. So the person has blood group AB. Clear? The fourth person, as you can see here, the RBC has no antigen on the surface of RBC. Correct? Which means it has no AB antigen. It has what? No A or B antigens. So the immune system sees this as blank. So the person blood group is O. If there is no antigen, the blood group is O. If the person has A and B antigen, if the person blood group is AB. If the person has B antigen, the blood group is B. If the person has A antigen, the blood group is A. Clear? Let's talk about why different people have different blood groups. Let's start with something simple. On the surface of our red blood cell, which carry oxygen in our blood, we have special marker called what? These are the markers. What are they? They are antigens, right? These antigens help the body recognize its own cells. Correct? Now, in the ABO blood group system, there are two main antigens. What are main antigens? A and B antigens. Right? Depending on what antigens we have, our blood groups will be A, B, AB, and O. For blood group A, we have antigens A. For blood group B, we have antigens B. For blood group AB, we have both A and B antigens. Whereas for O blood group, we have no antigens. That means we have no A or B antigens. So, why are these antigens important? We are saying antigen, but why we need antigens? Why they are so important? Answer is very simple. Because our immune system can recognize these antigens. That's why antigen is very simple. If it sees a blood cell with a foreign antigen, suppose your blood group is A, but your body enters somehow B antigen, and that's a foreign antigen, then your immune system will attack that B antigen. Okay, that's why antigens are important. Matching blood group is so important during transfusion because of this reason. Okay, now where do you get your blood group from? It's all in our genes. The instruction you get from your parents. The blood group is passed down from your mother and father. Okay, but wait, that's not all. Your body also produces antibodies in the plasma. Now let's go a step further. We have talked about antigens, the marker on the surface of RBC that determine our blood group, right? But our blood, the but that's only part of the story. Now let's see what is antibodies. So first we see our blood is made up of two main components. What are the main components of the blood? RBC and plasma. And what are others? WBC and the platelet. Remember? Okay, let's move on. So, what is the role of RBC? It carries the oxygen, whereas plasma is the liquid part of our blood that contains what? These antibodies. This plasma contains antibodies. Now, what are antibodies? Antibodies are our body's security system. Why we call the antibodies security system? Because their job is to identify and attack anything that doesn't belong. Especially what? Especially antigens, foreign antigens. Right? The body is very smart. It doesn't produce antibodies against its own antigen. Okay? But it will produce antibodies against antigens that are not present on your red blood cell. Let's go through the groups. Like what this means. If you are blood group A, your blood cell have antigen A. So your plasma produces anti-B, not anti-A, but it will produce anti-B. Why? Because the immune system will attack any B antigens that enter your system. That's why antibody B is produced in your body. Suppose you are blood group B, so you produce A antibodies or B antigens. Okay, if you have blood group B, your body produce B antigen and antibody will be antibody A. If you are blood group AB, you have both A and B antigens. Okay, so your body doesn't make any antibodies against them. That's why AB is the universal recipient. AB is what? Universal recipient. Right. If you have both A antigen and B antigen, how does your body will produce antibodies A or antibodies B? It will kill your own cell, right? Because of this reason, the AB blood group person doesn't have any antibodies. And they are called universal recipient. Whereas in blood group O, as we know that this blood group has no antigens, but the plasma contains both anti-A and anti-B. Do you understand that? If your body has no antigens, neither A or B, it means your blood group is O and your body will produce antibodies against A and B. And because of this reason, the O is called universal donor. Because its red blood cells can be given to anyone. Alright. Now that we understand the ABO blood groups, and how antigens and antibodies work, let's take a look at one more important factor in blood typing, that is the Rh factor. This is sometimes called D antigen also. Okay. So it's a completely separate antigen from A and B, but it works in a similar way. If our red blood cells have the Rh antigen, okay, we say we are positive and we write a plus sign, okay, after our blood group, like AB, A positive, B positive, AB positive, O positive, like that. And if you don't have the Rh antigen, our blood type is Rh negative, and we use a minus sign like A negative, B negative, AB negative, and O negative. Let's look at a few examples. Okay, A plus means A positive means what? Your blood has A antigen along with Rh antigen. If you have both antigen, Rh antigen and A antigen, your blood group is A positive. And if you have O negative, what does that mean? If your blood group is O negative, means you have no antigen and no Rh antigen. If you have no antigen, no Rh antigen, your blood group is O negative. Likewise, B positive and B negative, AB positive and AB negative. Understood? Simple, right? But this small difference matters a lot, especially in blood transfusion or pregnancy time. If someone who is Rh negative receives Rh positive blood, their immune system can react against it. Similarly, if an Rh negative mother is carrying an Rh positive baby, special care is needed to prevent complication. So, to summarize this, when we say someone is A positive, B negative, AB positive, or O negative, we are really combining two things. Their ABO blood group, we are combining their ABO blood group and whether they are Rh positive or negative, right? That's what give us the 8 common blood type we use in medicine. A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, AB positive, AB negative, O positive, O negative. Clear? Now let's take everything we have learned about antigens, antibodies, and the Rh factor and connect it to something very important, blood transfusion. When someone needs a transfusion, we must be very careful to give them blood that's compatible, right? If the blood isn't matched properly, the body's immune system can react in dangerous way. So first is the universal donor. Who was the universal donor? O, right? So let's start with the universal donor, people with O negative. Let's start with the people of O negative. So O negative people has no A or B antigens or no Rh antigens. It has no antigens, neither AB or Rh antigens, right? That means their red blood cells don't have anything that would trigger an immune response in someone else's body. So O negative can be safely given to any blood type. especially in emergencies when there is no time to test. That's why O negative is the universal donor. Now, next is universal recipient. Who was it? Now, let's talk about the universal recipient. People with AB positive. People with AB positive. People with AB positive blood have what they have? They have A and B antigen along with RH antigen, correct? And they contains no antibodies. They have no antibodies. So that means they don't have anti-A, anti-B or anti-RH antibodies. So they won't attack any incoming blood cells. So AB positive individuals can safely receive red blood cells from any blood type. That's why AB positive is called the universal recipient. Now let's see why matching matters. Let me give an example. If a person with a blood group A receives blood from blood group B, what happens? If a blood group A person receives blood from the blood group B, what will happen? Well, group A plasma contains antibodies B, correct? So those antibodies will attack the B antigen on the donor's red blood cells. So this causes serious reaction called aggulation. So what happened? Uh, this causes serious reaction called agglutination. Agglutination हो जाएगा. When this agglutination will occur or clumping will occur when group A plasma contains antibody B bodies, those antibodies will attack the antigen B on the donor's red blood cell. Then a reaction will occur and that reaction is called agglutination, which can block blood vessels. What they can do? They can block blood vessels and become life threatening. Okay, that's why hospitals are extremely strict about blood typing, cross matching before a transfusion. Even a small mistake can be dangerous. Now let's see a special case, a special situation that can happen during pregnancy called RH incompatibility. It sounds complicated, but I will break it down for you. Okay, as you can see here, the mother might have RH negative. This is the mother during her first birth. Thus, the mother might have RH negative blood, which means her RBC don't have RH antigens. She has no RH antigens. Okay, but sometimes the baby can have RH positive blood. Okay, RH positive blood. That means the baby's red blood cells do have the RH antigens. Usually, what happens? The mother's blood and the baby's blood don't mix during pregnancy. But sometimes, especially during delivery, a little bit of the baby's blood can get into the mother's bloodstream, as you can see here. When this happens, the mother's immune system sees the Rh antigen on the baby's blood as a foreign invader, like an unwanted guest. So her body starts to make anti-Rh antibodies. Okay. Now the first baby usually isn't affected much because the mother's immune system is just starting to learn about Rh antigen. But in a future pregnancy, if the next baby is also Rh positive, those antibodies can cross the placenta and attacks the baby's red blood cell. Understood? This can cause a serious problem called hemolytic disease, which means the baby's red blood cells are being destroyed, and that can make the babies very sick. Okay, but here is the good news: doctor can prevent this. Rh negative mother can given a special shot called rogam, RHOGAM. What it is? Rogam is a special injection. Okay, and it is given to Rh negative mothers during and after pregnancy. This medicine stops the mother's immune system from making those harmful antibodies. And this injection given to Rh negative mother to protect both their current and future pregnancies. So how this Rogam RHOGAM works? It contains antibodies. It contains what? Antibodies that hide any Rh positive baby blood. It will hide Rh positive blood that might enter the mother's bloodstream. This way, the mother's immune system doesn't notice them and doesn't start making its own harmful anti-Rh antibodies. Clear? When this injection is given, usually it gives around 28 weeks into the first pregnancy. This is called third trimester, or it also given within 72 hours after delivery if the baby is positive. Okay. Sometimes if there is bleeding or invasive procedure during pregnancy, it may be given earlier to prevent sensitization. So even during the first pregnancy, this injection helps prevent the mother's immune system from reacting to Rh positive cells and causing problems in future pregnancy. Alright, we have covered the main blood groups A, B, AB and O along with Rh factor. Now let's talk about something more uncommon but very interesting, rare blood groups. Okay, so what makes a blood group rare? So far we have discussed the common blood types with either positive or negative Rh factor. This make up the vast majority of the world's population. But did you know that some people have blood types so rare that if they needed a transfusion, it might take a worldwide search to find a donor? Let's define it first. A blood group is considered rare when fewer than 1 in 1000 people have it, and in some extreme cases we are taking fewer than 1 in a million. These rare blood types usually happen when a person lacks a common antigen that most people have, or they have very unusual combination of antigens, or lack all antigens from a specific blood group system. Let me take you through some of the most extraordinary examples. Okay, um, that is Bombay blood group. What it is? Bombay blood group. Okay, this is one of the most well-known rare blood group. Most rare. Okay, most well-known rare blood group or blood type. People with Bombay blood group appear at first glance to be blood group O. They appear they appear to be blood group O because they don't have antigen A or B, but there is a deeper detail. They also lack H antigen, which is the base antigen needed to build A and B antigens in the first place. So, even though their test might say O negative or O positive, their body will actually reject regular O blood also because O blood still contains the H antigen and their immune system sees that as a foreign. So, to make the antigen A, B, we need H antigens. Okay, who makes this antigen? But in Bombay blood group, this uh, blood group has no antigens and also has lack the H antigen, which is the base antigen needed to build A or B antigens in the first place. That means they can only receive blood from another person with Bombay blood, which is extremely rare, mostly found in parts of um, India, especially around Mumbai. That's why the blood group name is Bombay blood group. Understood? People with these blood groups appear to be blood group O. Understands very clearly first. Okay, listen carefully. The person with blood Bombay blood group appear to be blood group O at first, but uh, there's a there's a gap. They also lack the H antigen, which is the base antigen needed to build A or B antigens in the first half. So even though their test might say O blood group is O, their body will actually reject regular O blood because O blood still contains the H antigen. But this Bombay blood group people has no H antigen also. That's why they are rare. Understood? And that rare uh, most well known rare blood group is Bombay blood group, and there are so many such rare name are also there. Okay, now next is the RH null blood, the golden blood. The rarest blood type ever discovered is RH null, RH null, and also known as the golden blood. People with RH null blood have one of the 61 RH antigens on their red blood cells, not just the D antigens, none of them. This blood is so rare, only around 50 people in the entire world are known to be have it, and only a few of those are regular donors. That's why it's often called the golden blood, not because of its color, okay, but because it's extremely valuable in transfusion medicine. It can be given to almost anyone with rare Rh profiles, but Rh null individuals can only receive blood from another Rh null person only, which makes transfusion very risky if no matching donor is available. Okay. Now let's see why rare blood types matter. You might be wondering, okay, these are rare, but why does this really matters? Well, imagine someone with one of these rare blood types is an accident or needs surgery or regular transfusion. Finding a compatible blood unit might not be an easy task, right? That's why there are international rare donor registries where countries around the world share information to help locate matching donors. In some cases, people with rare blood types even freeze and store their own blood ahead of major procedures, just in case of match can be found in time. So, rare blood group remind us how unique each person's biology is, and they also highlight how life-saving blood donation really is. Now let's see, how do we know your blood type? So we have talked about blood groups, antigens, antibodies, rare types, but here is a big question. How do we actually know someone's blood type? The answer is through the blood test, and it's simple, quick, and incredible important. Let's break down how it works. So step 1 is the collecting the sample. So the process usually starts with a small sample of your blood, either from a finger prick or a small tube from a vein in your arm. This blood is then tested in the lab to determine your ABO blood group and your RH factor. Step 2 is mixing with anti-sera. What is anti-sera? Antigen A, anti B, and anti D. Okay. This anti-sera contains antibodies that reacts to antigen A, B, or antigen D. D was Rh antigen. Okay. So here what happens, if your blood clumps when mixed with antigen A, it means you have antigen A. If your antigen, if your blood has antigen A, that means your blood group is A. If it clumps with antigen B, you have antigen B. And if you have B antigen, your blood group is B. And if it clumps with anti D, that means you have positive. No clumping, that means you don't have antigen. And if you don't have antigen, that means your blood group is O, right? So let's take a look at two examples of blood typing tests using anti-serum. First, as you can see here in the anti-A section, again agglutination is visible here, showing the presence of antigen A. In the anti-B circle, no clumping, so no B antigen, right? In the anti-D section, you can see agglutination again, confirming Rh positive. So this is, and the control section, here is the smooth, no clumping, so test is valid. So this is also a positive blood group. Understood? See, you can see here in this section there is no clumping. There is a clumping is visible. In this anti-A section, you can see the clumping, and this showing the presence of A antigen. Clumping means A antigen is present, and due to presence of A antigen, the blood group is A. And due to the presence of clumping in D anti-D section, it means the blood group is positive. That is why it is B positive. If the clumping happens in B and D, that means the person has B positive. Okay, and it doesn't have clump in A section and B section, then the person has O, and if it is clumping in D section, then it's positive. If it is not clumping, then B negative, O negative. Okay, your blood clumps with anti-A and anti-D, you are A positive. It clumps with B only, you are B negative. No clumping at all, that means you are O negative. No A and B and no Rh antigen. It's all about observing which reaction occurs and matching them to the correct blood group. Understood? That's all for today. Thank you for being such a great audience and staying curious. Remember, one donation can save up to 3 lives, and that starts with knowing your blood. Stay tuned, stay safe, and stay kind. See you in the next lesson. If you found this helpful, hit like, share, and subscribe my channel with the stream for more videos. Thank you.